For those new to the National Electrical Code, finding the right rule can seem daunting. Fortunately, several resources are available to assist in your code research. Firstly, the National Electrical Code Online is the official source for all NEC rules. You can access it through the National Fire Protection Association (NFPA) website. This is the definitive source but might be overwhelming for beginners. Secondly, Firms Finder is a website that provides rule references by keyword or code section. This can be a helpful tool for quickly locating specific rules if you have a general idea of what you're looking for. Thirdly, Mike Holt's Index to the National Electrical Code is a book that offers a comprehensive index of NEC rules. The index is organized by keywords and concepts, making it easier to find relevant information. It is particularly helpful for finding specific rules or understanding the intent behind a rule. Fourthly, Codology by J. Thomas Burke is a book that provides a simplified explanation of NEC rules with illustrations and examples. This resource is particularly well suited for beginners who want to develop a solid understanding of electrical codes. The use of illustrations and examples makes it easier to grasp complex concepts. Fifthly, the NEC Code and Commentary is an annotated version of the NEC that provides explanations and interpretations of code rules. It is published by the National Fire Protection Association (NFPA) and is updated regularly to reflect changes to the NEC. This resource offers valuable insights into the reasoning behind the rules. Here are a few tips for finding rules effectively. 1. Use specific keywords or concepts to search the resources. The more specific you are with your search terms, the more likely you are to find the information you need. 2. Utilize the online resources or indexes to narrow down the search results. These tools can help you quickly identify the most relevant rules. 3. Consider the context of the question or problem when looking up rules. The specific situation will often dictate which rules apply. 4. If possible, consult with an experienced electrician or instructor for guidance in interpreting the rules. Their expertise can be invaluable in understanding complex code requirements. In addition to these resources, it's important to familiarize yourself with the structure of the NEC. A code is organized into chapters, articles, and sections. Understanding this organization can help you navigate the code more effectively. Remember that the NEC is a living document that is updated every 3 years. It's essential to stay current with the latest edition of the code to ensure that you are following the most up-to-date requirements. The NEC is not intended to be a design manual. It provides minimum safety standards for electrical installations. It is the responsibility of the designer or installer to ensure that the installation meets all applicable requirements. When using the NEC, it is important to understand the definitions of the terms used in the code. These definitions are found in Article 100 of the NEC. Understanding these definitions is essential for interpreting the code correctly. The NEC contains many tables that provide information on conductor ampacity, conduit fill, and other important factors. It is important to use these tables correctly to ensure that the electrical installation is safe and compliant. One common mistake is to use the wrong ampacity for a conductor. Conductor ampacity is determined by the conductor's size, insulation type, and the ambient temperature. The NEC provides tables that list the ampacity of conductors under various conditions. For example, NEC Table 310.16 provides the allowable ampacities of insulated conductors rated up to and including 2000 volts 60 degrees Celsius through 90 degrees Celsius in free air, based on ambient air temperatures of 30 degrees Celsius. When selecting conductors, it is important to consider the voltage drop in the circuit. Voltage drop is the decrease in voltage from the source to the load. Excessive voltage drop can cause equipment to malfunction or operate inefficiently. The NEC provides guidelines for minimizing voltage drop in branch circuits and feeders. Another important aspect of the NEC is grounding and bonding. Grounding and bonding are essential for protecting people and equipment from electrical shock. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, which trips the circuit breaker or fuse and energizes the circuit. Bonding connects all metal parts of the electrical system together, which creates a low impedance path for fault current. The NEC contains detailed requirements for grounding and bonding. It is important to follow these requirements carefully to ensure a safe electrical installation. Surge protection is another important aspect of electrical safety. Surges are transient overvoltage events that can damage or destroy electrical equipment. Surges can be caused by lightning, switching of inductive loads, or other events. The NEC requires surge protection for certain types of electrical systems. It is important to select surge protection devices that are appropriate for the specific application. Arc fault circuit interrupters, or SIs, are another important safety device. SIs are designed to protect against arc faults, which are dangerous electrical faults that can cause fires. SIs detect arc faults and trip the circuit breaker, to energizing the circuit. The NEC requires SIs in many locations, including bedrooms, living rooms, and dining rooms. Ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, are another important safety device. GFCIs are designed to protect against ground faults, which are dangerous electrical faults that can cause electrical shock. GFCIs detect ground faults and trip the circuit breaker, to energizing the circuit. The NEC requires GFCIs in many locations, including bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor areas. The NEC also contains requirements for wiring methods. Wiring methods are the ways in which conductors are installed. Common wiring methods include conduit, cable, and wireways. The NEC specifies the types of wiring methods that are permitted in different locations. For example, in wet locations, only certain types of wiring methods are permitted. The NEC also contains requirements for overcurrent protection. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to protect electrical circuits from overloads and short circuits. The NEC specifies the size of overcurrent protection devices that are required for different circuits. It is important to select overcurrent protection devices that are properly rated for the circuit they are protecting. The NEC also contains requirements for electrical equipment. Electrical equipment includes items such as panel boards, transformers, and motors. The NEC specifies the requirements for the installation and use of electrical equipment. It is important to follow these requirements carefully to ensure that the equipment is installed and operated safely. The NEC is a complex document, and it can be difficult to understand all of the requirements. However, by using the resources mentioned earlier and by studying the code carefully, you can develop a solid understanding of electrical safety. Remember to always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector if you have any questions about the NEC. It can provide valuable guidance and ensure that your electrical installations are safe and compliant. As a new trainee, it's wise to start with the basics. Focus on understanding the fundamental principles of electricity and the basic requirements of the NEC. As you gain experience, you can gradually expand your knowledge of the code. Consider taking continuing education courses on the NEC. These courses can help you stay up to date on the latest changes to the code and improve your understanding of electrical safety. Also, join professional organizations such as the International Association of Electrical Inspectors, or IE. These organizations offer valuable resources and networking opportunities for electrical professionals. Learning the NEC is an ongoing process. It requires dedication, hard work, and a commitment to safety. By using the resources available and by seeking guidance from experienced professionals, you can become a proficient and knowledgeable electrician. Remember safety first. Always prioritize safety when working with electricity. Follow all applicable codes and regulations and use appropriate personal protective equipment. Electricity can be dangerous, but by following the proper safety precautions, you can minimize the risk of accidents. Consider these topics when searching through any of the resources. Firstly, conductor sizing and ampacity, which involves calculating the correct size of conductors for different applications based on ampacity, temperature ratings, and dirting factors. Secondly, overcurrent protection, understanding the selection and application of circuit breakers and fuses to protect electrical circuits from overloads and short circuits. Thirdly, grounding and bonding, learning the requirements for grounding and bonding electrical systems to ensure safety and minimize the risk of electrical shock. Fourthly, wiring methods, familiarizing yourself with different wiring methods, such as conduit, cable, and wireways, and their appropriate applications. Fifthly, special occupancies, which involves understanding the unique electrical requirements for special occupancies, such as hazardous locations, healthcare facilities, and data centers. Sixthly, motor control, learning the principles of motor control and the NEC requirements for motor installations. Seventhly, transformers, understanding the operation and application of transformers in electrical systems. Eighthly, lighting, familiarizing yourself with the NEC requirements for lighting installations, including energy efficiency and control systems. Ninthly, renewable energy systems, learning the NEC requirements for the installation of solar, photovoltaic, and wind power systems. Tenthly, emergency systems, understanding the NEC requirements for emergency power systems such as generators and uninterruptible power supplies. Another thing to consider is that the NEC is constantly evolving to address new technologies and safety concerns. Staying up to date with the latest edition of the NEC is crucial for electrical professionals. The NFPA offers various resources, including training courses, publications, and online tools to help you stay informed about the latest code changes. In addition to the resources mentioned, there are numerous online forums and communities where electricians and other electrical professionals can share knowledge and ask questions. These forums can be a valuable resource for getting answers to specific code questions and learning from the experience of others. However, it's important to verify the accuracy of the information you find online, as not all sources are reliable. Always refer to the official NEC for definitive answers. The NEC also includes informational notes, which provide explanatory material to help users understand the intent of the code. These informational notes are not mandatory requirements, but they can be helpful in clarifying the meaning of specific rules. As you become more familiar with the NEC, you will develop a better understanding of the underlying principles of electrical safety. This understanding will enable you to make informed decisions about electrical installations and ensure that they are safe and compliant. Remember that the NEC is a minimum safety standard. In some cases, it may be necessary to exceed the requirements of the NEC to ensure a safe and reliable electrical installation. Always use your best judgment and consult with qualified professionals when necessary. It's always better to err on the side of safety. The goal of the NEC is to protect people and property from electrical hazards. By following the requirements of the NEC, you can help ensure that electrical installations are safe and reliable.